Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm happy to be doing this video the last month of 2025, preparing SMEs, small and medium scale businesses, for what is coming in 2026 as far as the tax policies goes. And of course, we know that the updated tax policies are now focusing more on SMEs, making sure the government gets the tax that they so much deserve. Of course, we can't argue with that. But the biggest question on the minds of SMEs: how do I make sure I am on the right side of the law when the tax man comes knocking 2026? Yes, we've looked into this, and that's why we created InvoiceX. InvoiceX is not just another invoicing app. InvoiceX is currently, the number one invoicing tool for Nigerian SMEs that helps you to keep FIRS ready records and without the need for a complex POS system. So the tax wahala you will be having right now, you could be having right now, which has been with you for many years, is your invoices are always lost on WhatsApp chats. Most importantly, you have no idea what your net VAT position is. And again, before now, most businesses do not need to claim input VAT. You only calculate the invoices that goes out, and you need to collect on your VAT, output VAT. But now with the new tax policy, your input VAT can basically net out your output VAT, and then you'll be able to pay the balance too. So your net VAT will be your output VAT, which is your sales, and your input VAT, which are your purchases. And that's very important, because if you don't know your net VAT, you will not know what to pay the tax man when it comes knocking. And that's why we've created InvoiceX, which is your tax ready command center, which automatically calculates your output VAT, which is your sales, and your input VAT, which is your purchase. So it's not your regular invoicing platform where you just e-invoice and just give it to your customers, as we shall see in the next few minutes what it looks like, and how this can fit, which is the tool you need come January 2026, and why you need to start sign up now, because we know the cost of being on the wrong side of the tax man is basically the fines that you will pay. None of us want that to happen, and no business will be exempt. So as long as you register business in Nigeria, then you will have to be required to pay your VAT tax. All right, so let us without much ado, let us delve into the features. You invoice in Naira. There's an input VAT tracker. There's a real-time dashboard that you can see your exact net VAT position. So even if you are not a tax expert, this system takes care of everything. Takes care of your invoicing, takes care of calculating your input VAT, your output VAT, and the net VAT you're supposed to pay to the government. And then there's an export function either for your accountant or for your consultant that files for you, or even yourself. You could decide to print out all your receipts or your invoices and also be able to present this as the case may be. So let us go on into what the system looks like. So this is the login page. So you get to see your email address to provision the login for you once you are interested in signing up to the tax ready invoicing platform. So so we log in now. That will be admin. That should be correct. All right, so this is what your dashboard looks like. So this is accessible via your phone, if you want to log in via your phone, this is what the interface looks like. Let me just swap. So this is what it looks like on your phone. You get to see your dashboard, but for the purpose of demonstration, let's keep it at the desktop version. So you have your menu at the left, tax board, you have your invoices, you have your customers, where you create your customers, you have where you create your products that you're selling. So you just take time, probably over a weekend, and then you just fill this up. And then you have also the supply purchases. So this is the place you record all your purchases, so as to benefit from, claimable input VAT. So from what you buy, once it's VATable, it will be able to net your output, and then your output VAT, and then you pay the net to the government. That is one of the good things about the new tax policy. Before now, it's just your output VAT, but now you have the input claimable that can knock it off. You don't have to carry any calculator to that. You don't need Excel sheet. The system creates that for you. And then for the Pro version, you have access to, as you can see, this account is on Pro plan. You have access to these tax reference guides that we update from time to time, where you get to see items that are VAT exempt and those that are zero rated. There are differences. I'm not a tax expert. I'm just a developer, an AI developer, software developer. So your tax consultant will be able to throw more input, more light on this. But of course, we put this reference guide so that you'll be guided accordingly, because it's not everything that we charge 7.5. Some are 0%, and some you don't charge VAT at all. And then you have your company profile, which is the first place you come when you sign up for the account. You have your company name, tax ID, tax office. That might not be necessary, but you can still put it there so that you look very tax compliant. Then you have your address, and then you have your bank account details, and then of course you have to indicate the default VAT rate is 7.5. You check this because you are a VAT registered entity, but if not yet, you could also start using the system so that by the time you get compliant, you already get collating data for the taxman. And then of course the recommended filing day for each month is 21st of the month, and then you save. Filing frequency, of course, we leave it at monthly. All right, so the first thing you need to do is go to the tax board back. You can see that you have your net sales here, VAT outputs, and then you have a business snapshot where you can see how you're doing for the month. So it's not just to invoice, it's also like a business snapshot in one place. You'll see your sales, your invoices, your number of active customers, and then you can filter by that quarter of this year. And then beautiful thing again is the compliance calendar. So this place helps you to see whether if you filed your tax returns for the month, like this is expected to be done to the 1st of December. Once you have downloaded all your invoices, you've calculated all your VAT for the month based on the dashboard, then your filing consultant will file, and then you can check this box, and then it reminds you when the next one. Then there's a schedule that shows up when the next one is coming, and the next one, and the next one, as the case may be. All right, so what we want to do first, we want to create customer. So you just had a customer. Let's say, for example, your customer is Access Bank Ltd. Of course, this is not an individual, it's B2B. Just for the purpose of demonstration, we just put the tax number 001, then put the billing address. We could put number 12 Broad Street, Lagos. Let's just leave it there. Then email admin@access.com. that's just a fictitious email. Phone number, I'll put mine there, and then I'll also put my name as the contact person. All right, good. And then we'll save the customer. Once you save the customer card shows up here, and you can always edit the customer at any point in time. And then the next thing you want to do is you have to, a product. So you add a product, you can add as many unlimited number of products. So let's assume that you sell fish, from the name it's called ledger. They said Titus, then your brackets, big size or whatever SKU you want to use, and then you said the SKU, which is the stock keeping unit, to be TS001. The price will be 20,000. That is, you can say by the size in the product name, and then it's taxable. I think it's food, so it's exempt, no VAT. All right. Then, but let's for the purpose of demonstration, let's put something that is not. Let's put freezer and electronic. Then put Z. Then put it 7.5, and then we'll put that at 120,000, 123, and then we'll save the product. All right, so the product appears here, standard 7.5. This is what the taxman wants to see. So basically, you have your customer, you have your product. Before we go to purchase, let's create an invoice. So we go to invoice, and then we create new invoice. And the beauty about the system is you don't need to start thinking, since you would have populated your customers, and as you have them, new customers, keep on adding them to the customers tab. So you just do a drop down, you only have one customer, then all the data will be populated here for you, and then the invoice number will be auto generated. And then for the product also, you don't have to type in anything, you just drop in and pick from the existing product, and then the system automatically calculates your VAT for the item that's 120,000 for you. And then you can, if the payment is not it's not done yet, you can save as draft, and then the status will be draft. And if we go to the tax dashboard, you can see that no sales have been recorded, but the invoices are there. So you can always come here, and then you see all your drafts, and once the customer pays, you go to edit. But even before then, let's cancel this. We could generate this and send it, so we can download. Once we download that, we open up the invoice. As you can see, it's showing draft, tax invoice, original copy is showing draft, showing your name and your address as the business owner, your TIN number to show that you're tax compliant, and obviously your ability to access bank with the telephone and the buyer TIN, and then the invoice number, date issued, due date. That means you give some allowance for them to pay, and then the description freeze, and then your payment information is also indicated. The system generated, so an authorized signature might not be required. So believe that. So we'll go back now. Let's assume the customer's paid. We'll now come back here, edit, and then we click on finalize invoice, and its status is showing finalized. We go to the tax dashboard. You can see that the net sales have been created for you. It's showing you how much VAT you can you are paying to the government. You don't have any input VAT yet because you've not recorded any purchases, and then your net VAT position is indicated, and your business snapshot is already showing you the number of sales, number of invoices and customers. So let us now see how the system calculates the your net VAT. So we've made a sale, we now want to make a purchase. So let's make a purchase. We now record a purchase. We have the date, the supplier name, let's say it's ABC Station, stationery. Good. You can leave the invoice name, just say cartridge, say printer cartridge, and then I didn't get that, cartridge, and then the gross amount will be indicated. What's on the invoice is what you're going to write there, and then the VAT amount is what you're going to write there. All right, so let's assume that you bought something worth of let's say 450k worth of cartridge. Just me thinking big, and so the VAT amount for that should be 33,750, but of course that will also be taken from the invoice that was given to you. All right, and then we say that it is it's VAT rated because it's not exempted, 33,750. Then you save it as a purchase. So it has saved it as a purchase, so it's telling you that since you bought, this is your own claimable VAT, 33,750. It will be non-claimable if it's an item that is exempt or out of scope, as the case may be. So let us now go to your tax dashboard. So now, you know, we made a net sale. It's telling you your output VAT from that sale is 9,000, but then you bought something that has a claimable VAT of 3,000. So the system is calculating that you have a negative 24,750. So the government will look at this, and if this is your standing for the 21st of that month, that means you're not paying nothing, basically. So that means your purchase is input VAT is higher than your output VAT, so which is your claimable. So that means your negative 24,750 indicates a potential refund, or basically a carry forward credit, which in the next month, depending on how your numbers are, which is very fantastic. So it's not every time that you have to pay back. It depends on if you are buying also, and then your input claimable VAT is now higher than your output VAT, then you know the government won't really get anything from it. And it's fine as long as you have a system like this that can help you to auto calculate this you know, without errors. So this is the summary of what the system does. It's very beautiful invoicing system, and if we go to invoices, we can export. Let's assume we have more than one transaction here. You can always export to CSV, so that you know your filing consultant or your accountant can run through. As you can see, it generated you know, with all the correct headers. So your consultants can basically, you know, check out the invoice numbers against all the invoice generated. And then we'll go back. We can now download the final invoice, as the case may be, and then once it opens up, you can see that it's the draft is gone. So because it's a final invoice, you can now issue it, you know, to your customer, in this case Access Bank. And then there's something that I missed out. So if you basically you know, generated the invoice, you're doing this from your phone, so you can download the invoice and also, you know, just upload it. But you also have the option to share the snapshot of the content of that invoice via WhatsApp. As you can see, I click on the WhatsApp, and you know, it's saying the site's trying to open WhatsApp, which is correct, but I'm not doing that for the purpose of the demonstration. You can see invoice notice, the Access Bank Limited. Please find details of your invoice below. You know, you can just send this, and that's all your details. You don't have to type in anything. It goes straight to you know, your customer. So again, this is not just another e-invoicing platform. It's your tax ready e-invoicing platform, which is basically what every SME in Nigeria needs come 2026, because that is what matters to you. It will not be nice to not have a record when the taxman comes knocking, and this system is primed as a starting point for you to start, you know, gathering your information neatly, so that when the taxman does arrive and you open your dashboard to the InvoiceX platform, they'll know you're an organized business, and the idea of them finding you will be far-fetched. So click below or wherever the sign up button is in this video you're watching, so that you will be able to test drive the system for 7 days, no commitments whatsoever, and then you could take a decision if you want to sign up using InvoiceX, which is your tax ready invoicing platform that you need for 2026 and beyond.